Hey, it's December 27th, 2021, and I left work a little early today. I drove around town and handed out some books. I ended up passing out 7 of them, just giveaways. 5 of them I just gave to people I met there out on the streets, dude pushing a shopping cart down McDowell Avenue. Gave him a book, $5 inside it, said Merry Christmas. Gave out 5 books in that manner around the city today. Then I stopped by the casino. I gave a couple books out there to a couple people I kind of knew from years back. So they both seemed interested, younger guys, who I think are maybe more freedom-minded kind of guys. And I made some money at the casino, so overall it was a pretty successful day. I'm now at home. I kind of called it early. I'm having some back pain, and it was kind of killing me sitting in that casino chair. It was killing me at work. When I was driving, for some reason, it was okay, but probably going to be bedridden most of the rest of the day. Had some guy on Twitter get his knickers in a twist because I decided to block him, saying, "Oh, you're a hypocrite. On your website, you talk about discourse and how all humans should have a chance to view their viewpoint." And, wow, man. It's alright, man. You can think of me as a hypocrite, man. It doesn't really matter to me. Like, I guess I could go through it, what my motives were. I could go through, okay, he was being a bullying piece of shit. He responded with something, and it was unkind. And I didn't feel like dealing with that. And I'm allowed to set that kind of personal boundary. Because fuck you. Because if you want to come at me like that, go fuck yourself. Now, when I set a boundary like that, it's never permanent. I don't have anyone on my block list who I intend to never unblock. But there are people who, to me, act like fucking children and don't actually participate in any fucking discourse and just want to fucking throw shit around by being a bullying piece of shit. And I just don't have time for that shit. Furthermore, I don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. And these types of people typically are looking for attention. And by blocking them, I can show them you're not going to get attention for acting that way. So, not to mention, this guy's part of the cult, man. And, like, the cult, I've heard the cult's arguments. I've heard what they have to say. I've listened to people from that side of it. I've even got a discussion on my website from a guy who's probably real similar to this guy in ideology on my fucking website that he can review. Not only that, I've spent a lot of time talking with a lot of people, and the conversation has advanced. So, if you want to participate in the conversation, you should become aware of what's already been discussed. And to do that, you should really buy my book, and you should read my book. Because the chances you're going to bring something to the table that I haven't already heard, especially when you've already shown the intention not to actually contribute in any meaningful way to the discussion, but just to be a bully, are pretty close to nil. So, Go fuck yourself. Now, you can hate me for that. You can say, oh, I'm a bad person, I'm a hypocrite. But even if you're right, you're still not right about the fact that this society needs a fucking answer. And the answer it needs can be found in my fucking book. We're going to have a real emergency here. This isn't going to be some fucking Sunday school picnic. We're talking a real fucking collapse. We're talking real fucking fear, dude. Like shit you've never fucking seen. You know, the people jumping off the skyscrapers, 1929. It's gonna be like that, dude. These Bitcoin fucking fools invested all their fucking net worth in that shit. When this bubble collapses, dude, pain. Lots of fucking pain. And not joking around little fucking, oh, cutesy fucking pain. Real punch you in the gut. I'm fucking completely hopeless kind of fucking pain. And that is the point where people are gonna need the solution that I outline in my book, that I've already spent months, years putting together in calmer times for that moment in time. So you want to get a jump on things. You want to get one of these first editions. You know, I haven't gotten around to doing my edits yet. I just haven't had the energy and I haven't been inspired to. And I'm a guy who works off inspiration. And I'm not going to try to force myself to do something I'm not feeling inspired to do at that time. I believe that if God wants me to do something, He'll make it very clear. And if I start getting feedback from people on the book saying, hey, seems like there's some mistakes, blah, 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 I'll take that into consideration. So far, I haven't had any of that. I've gotten minimal feedback. I've had some people have told me, you know, they've gotten through maybe the first section, which is really a tough section to get through. You know, the first section is the collapse and transition. So that's that immediate couple of weeks. How do we get through this? How do we navigate this? Then you've got the work, the building up, and the economic markets, and that stuff is intense. You know, so there's work to do in the book getting through the tough parts before you get to the good parts. And the joy that lies beyond that work. You know, I liked the idea of giving my book away to homeless people and just people who seem like they're struggling out there on the streets. Because for someone who's got hope, you know, someone who's got a lot to lose, they don't want to hear about the collapse. They don't want to hear about any of that shit. But to someone who's already in desperate circumstances, who already feels as though this world's gone to hell and they're living in it, maybe my book can offer them the hope. Maybe they can see the hope that lies at the end of that book. And you know, the ones I was giving out, I was putting a $5 bill in the book. So like I'd give them the book with the $5 in it. That way I'm like, well, at least it's a good gift. Even if they don't like the book, they can still get something with the $5. And maybe the $5, maybe they'll think, well, let me see what this guy has to say, you know. So I want to do more like that. I don't know how many more. I mean, you know, it cost me a few bucks to print a book. It cost me $5 to give $5. So, can only do so many, but I did want to get it out there, and hopefully these guys read it, and hopefully it shows them or gives them something that can give them some hope, some direction. You know, I have at the end of my book my recommendations, my action steps that people as individuals can take to improve their lot in life, to improve this world around us, to fulfill their individual missions, you know? And that's powerful, you know? That is good, man. If people can find ways to do productive work, we can start rebuilding this world. And we can start mitigating the impact of the blow when this thing finally comes crashing down. So one guy was out there with a sign off one of the freeway ramps. He looked in real rough shape, Mexican dude, but he had a mask on, and I decided not to give him a book because I felt the chances that he would want to read my book were slim. But I didn't want to leave him hopeless. I didn't want to give him nothing. So I gave him $1, and I gave him a business card. I got these are just little handouts I have. And this is what I think I'm going to start doing now on. It's just my card. It just has my website on it, that little image, and then it just says Human Discourse on the other side. So give them one of these, give them $1, and I'm just going to start doing that whenever there's one of those guys with a sign who's just asking for money. It's and now some of these guys, I don't know if these guys are actually homeless. Some of them are probably just, that's their hustle, whatever. But $1 to me is I don't care about $1. And I mean, if I ended up having to give a couple $bucks a day to a guy with a sign and give a couple business cards out, that's fine. And if they get the card, then they can go to the website. If they go to the website, they can read my blog. They can get access to all the different channels I post on there. There is a link if they want to purchase my book. If they have enough money, if they're able to raise that kind of money, they can do that. But they have access to these videos. So they got something. And I don't know how many guys will actually be intrigued enough to go to that website. I really don't know. Hard to say, hard to say what might pique someone's interest. But I think it's a good way to give away a business card, and I don't mind giving $1. It doesn't fucking, I won $1,000 at the casino today, so I can afford to fucking give away $1. Some books here and there, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, I'm not regularly winning that kind of money, but, hey, don't worry about me, man. So, what else? I love it, too. The other thing I love about giving it to these guys is, these guys are just, you ain't never going to track that guy down. If they wanted to, recall my book or something, they want to be hey. It's tell us who you sold your fucking copies to. It's like, oh yeah, you know, it was some dude, I gave it to some dude pushing a fucking shopping cart off the fucking I-17, like, yeah. So, my decals should be arriving, I think, in the next week. And that's exciting. So, next time I get an opportunity, I want to do a trip up to Vegas and maybe swing through California with my decals. See if I can, there's a bunch of places in California that I think might be fun to swing by. Church of Scientology, you know, Hollywood Boulevard, fucking Santa Monica Beach, you know, but then I can go into the fucking ghetto too, you know. I can fucking pass some books out over there too, you know, and pass some money out, pass some cards out. Fuck it, man. So if anyone's interested in helping me with my marketing effort, let me know and I can order you. Well, I mean, just be in touch, you know. We can talk and see if we can work. If you'd be interested in promoting my book, and if you're interested in selling my book, if you're interested in redistributing it and actually trying to sell copies somehow, whether you're a book retailer or whether you're just someone who wants to set up a stand somewhere and try to sell them, you know, if you buy them in bulk, I'll get them to you for a low cost, and then hopefully you can make a profit margin doing that. So if anyone's got any opportunities like that and they've read my book and they like what I got to say, that's something that people can do. Yeah, I've been giving my book to a lot of different types of people, man. Wealthy people, poor people, you know, people I know, people I don't, men and women. Well, yeah, I've given it to 1, 2, 3 women, and I think one other book went to a woman that was like, I gave to someone else that he was going to give it to her. And then one woman bought my book. And I might have had 1 or 2 women might have been on my Amazon sales. I don't know about that. So, I'm feeling good, man, except for my back. Got through the holidays. You know, the Suns lost to Golden State in the fourth quarter. And it's easy to react and think that's the end of it, but it was just 1 quarter of basketball. Didn't go the Suns' way. They hit a lot of shots in that quarter, and don't count the Suns out, man. You know, they got a good team, and in a 7-game series, I think they're going to figure out how to adjust to exploit their size in the middle, and it just remains to be seen, you know. I just wanted to add that because I came on here the other day saying the Suns were so great, and then they lose, so I feel like I had to follow up on that in case anyone actually gives a shit about both these topics that are completely unrelated. Dude, I hate when I do that, man. It's literally, I don't even like intend to do it. It's just this reaction that happens, and I don't know. I feel like I'm stuck maybe in this place of receiving, and I'm stuck, like, open to, like, so many possibilities that, like, I don't know. My subconscious does a lot, man, without me even consciously doing it. So, Yeah. It's going to be interesting going to improv this week because a couple of the books I gave away, or that I sold, I gave one away, I sold two, to see if those people got into it and have any comments. I mean, I definitely talked about some pretty bold ideas, some dramatic stuff, so I appreciate that people are willing to read it and see what they think. My one friend was in touch over Christmas. She wished me a happy Christmas. I said thanks. I wished her a happy New Year or whatever. And then I sent her some other bullshit about Kyrie Irving. I don't know. I voted for him for NBA All-Star. I just thought it'd be cool if we could get that going and all the Freedom people would vote for him and then get him on the All-Star team because he's been sidelined because he refused to take a vax. So whatever, I mean, but I do like having her to talk to. Our disagreement was annoying. I don't know. I just feel like people are mean, man. I mean, I try to get some exercise. I've been trying to fast. Yesterday I tried lifting weights and I fucked up my back. That's why my back hurts. It's just and it was just a stupid dumbbell curl. And I've done them a lot. I just, for whatever reason, I relaxed it when I pulled it up, and it was like, fuck. So now I got my back is fucked up. I have some other muscle thing in my leg that is hurting, and maybe I'm just too lazy to eat healthy, or maybe I just don't care enough to sacrifice eating good tasting food. I really don't know, man. But I wish I could just catch a break, can't you just fucking accept that I'm not fucking perfect, Like this guy with the hypocrisy thing. It was even if I was a hypocrite, and I don't really feel like I was, because for the reasons I already covered, I believe. If I didn't, I covered them in the thread. You can look at it on Twitter. But even if I was being hypocritical, it's so you're just gonna be a bullying piece of shit now that you discovered one defect of character, now you're just gonna treat me like shit for the rest of your life? What kind of standard are you really holding people to here, bro? Do you want people to hold you to that fucking standard? You want people to talk about every horrible thing you've ever fucking done? Every time you fucking dismissed someone who had something to say that they were trying to fucking help you? How do you want to be treated, man? Do you want to be judged for every fucking tiny fucking little fucking thing? Even after you've corrected the behavior? Even after you've unblocked the fucking person and you're no longer doing the fucking behavior that they found so reprehensible? You're still gonna do it? It's one thing if they're ongoing It's like, okay, well, you're still hurting me, so I'm still going to complain because you haven't removed that hurt. But by the time the guy's unblocked you, it's like, what are you actually trying to do? You're just trying to hurt someone. Which is why I blocked you in the first place, because I don't like fucking people like that. I watched this reading. Once in a while I tune into these psychic fucking readings, see what they have to say, if it resonates, whatever. There's this one person, Indigo Moons, I used to listen to, but I felt like she just really just started saying a bunch of shit that, we'll just say, didn't resonate. And I thought, what the hell, I'll tune in. She's saying, she's out there talking about, so at least she's talking about the feminine and masculine. Now, typically when she talks, I felt like I've had to reverse it, because I felt like the feminine has been what's resonated with me, and the other has been the masculine. But on this occasion, I resonated as the masculine in her reading. And one thing she said about the feminine was that the feminine was innocent. So I said, well, if she's innocent, that's because she's ignorant. And when she finds out how ignorant she's been, that's going to be a lot of fucking pain that she's going to have to feel. The pain she's going to have to feel is the pain of the suffering that she has been ignorant of. So I'm sorry you're going to have to go through that. We sacrifice for love. As we cry, our tears, our love coming into this world and manifesting. As you cry, you will heal this world. You will heal yourself, and you will become kind. And your kindness will heal those around you. So, know that as you cry for the suffering that you might blame yourself for, you are sacrificing for love. Your pain is a sacrifice for the sake of this planet and the beings who live here, and potentially for the sake of this entire galaxy. Thank you for that sacrifice. Good luck finding your joy. It might be me, or it might be someone else. I don't know. Just as I didn't know when it was me that was suffering. I love you, but I can't walk your path for you. I can only show you the path that I've walked. And if you want to see that path, I highly recommend my blog, in which I talk about my personal journey and the pain that I had to walk through. It's a good thing, ultimately, that you should know this pain, for it's a necessary step towards joy. And once joy arrives, it will last. Good luck, guys. Now, what about me? What's in store for this guy? That's a really good question, man. I seem to be spending more time at the casino lately. I'm finally doing better than I did for a long time. So I'll probably stick with that until a better opportunity presents itself as far as my free time. I will do some marketing of the book. I'll do a couple runs. I'll do a city run once I get my decal, and I'll do a Vegas, California run. And I'll just see if I'm getting people's attention. If I'm not getting their attention yet, maybe I wait a month and do it again. Because that problem that I'm going to be discussing on that decal, inflation, is just going to keep getting worse and worse. As it does, my message will become more and more powerful because it will be a solution that more and more people are interested in. So, I'm good, man. Now, one thing I want to do is read some books. I have got so many books to read that I haven't yet read. But I just started playing a video game that my daughter got for Christmas for the Nintendo Switch called Animal Crossing